Hello, this video is going to be about formats. In this video we are going to be looking at a timeline of the evolution of major formats from 35mm film to MP4. In 1889, 35mm celluloid was invented. A man called George Eastman marketed the first commercial transparent roll of film. This enabled Thomas Edison to develop the first motion picture camera. After this, in 1923, Eastman Kodak introduced 16mm film as a less expensive amateur alternative to 35mm film. 1932 was when 8mm film was first introduced by Kodak as an economical alternative to 16mm. 1965 was when the first Super 8mm film cameras were first manufactured by Kodak for their newly introduced aperture film format, which replaced the standard 8mm film format. In 1975, Betamax was invented by Sony as VCR technology that uses magnetic tape, which is a half-inch width. VHS was invented in 1976 by JVC as a competitor to Betamax. This had a longer recording time by 2 hours with a T120 tape. 1982 is when the VHS-C was invented as a compact VHS videocassette format. VHS-C tapes were introduced to allow for smaller consumer camcorders that were still compatible with VCRs. By 1988, Video 8 was launched in response to VHS-C. Video 8 became increasingly popular in the camcorder market. It had great audio and the same resolution as VHS and was a smaller tape format. Hi 8 was launched in 1989 in response to SVHS. It had double the resolution of Video 8 and had an even longer recording time. Also, Video 8 tapes were playable on Hi 8 machines. 1991 was when the VHS-C adapter was invented, which enables playback on a normal VCR. 1995 was when DV was introduced as a standard codec, with many variations introduced such as DV Pro, DV Cam, DVC Pro, P and HD. 1998 was when Mini DV was introduced, but was intended for amateur use but became accepted in the professional world. It was an incredibly successful format. Now tape has degraded and file-based videos can now be viewed on computer. Files can be backed up into any number of drives or the cloud very quickly. A codec is an algorithm program which creates a video file, usually compressing it. Transcoding means converting a video file into another format. A container or wrapper format is a metafile format whose specification describes how different elements of data and metadata coexist in a computer file. The purpose of H.264 AVC project was to create a standard capable of providing good video quality at substantially lower bit rates than previous standards without increasing the complexity of the design so much that it will be impractical or excessively expensive to implement. MPEG-4 Part 14 or MP4 is a digital multimedia container format most commonly used to store video and audio, but can also be used to store other data such as subtitles and still images. Like most modern container formats, it allows streaming over the internet.